So just a moment as we pull that up. And this was filmed earlier today.
Reese, coming to your final home games tonight, what are your thoughts been so far on this year?
I think we've had a great season so far. You know, we'll have a winning record. We beat Calvert Hall twice, but I think the best is yet to come.
Bennett, with only 4 seniors graduating tonight, how have you guys been able to bond over the past 4 years?
Thanks for having me, Joe. Over the past 4 years, we've grown to become really good friends on and off the court, grinding in the summertime and, pushing each other in practice and, going out to dinner after practices and just forming a great bond over the past 4 years. I'll miss them for sure.
Nico, what are your thoughts tonight on your game against McDonogh?
Joe, are you serious? I mean, we're going to win. We're going to either get the dub, we're going to start off strong, and we're going to dominate. That's what we're going to do.
Thanks, guys. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Loyola Blakefield. We're here just under tip-off. The Dons take on the McDonogh Eagles in tonight's senior night. I'm Matt Smolka, standing alongside my co-commentator Joe Eldridge, who has just read off the starting lineups, and we're right off the game. Jordan Moore gets the steal and goes to the bucket for the easy layup. Dons on the board first.
And that's definitely one of the Dons' strong suits in this game, is the fast break ability from number 2, Jordan Moore. Jordan Moore has been able to control offensive tempo for the Dons, especially running the fast break all season.
Right now should be an even matchup. Loyola 9-7 in the MIAA conference. McDonogh 9-8. So these teams pretty evenly matched here. It's the senior night and also playoff implications for the Dons. We got 4 seniors on the court tonight: Reese Gardner, Nico Georgelis, Mitch Fisher, and Bennett Joso, as the junior point guard Jordan Moore brings up the court. Off the turnover from McDonogh.
Joso with the 3, but that rolls in and out.
Right, Billups grabs the rebound. He'll kick it out. But right through the hands of Carlton Carrington, the freshman. McDonogh, very young squad out here tonight. We saw bringing the ball up earlier was Mathani Paul Swinson, who was also a freshman. Carrington is a freshman, only 1 senior and 2 juniors on this roster. The McDonogh roster composed mostly of underclassmen, going up against a pretty experienced Dons team. Unfortunately, Fisher gets called for the offensive. He's backed up. Coach Josh Duvall does not like the call. Fisher's trying to take advantage of the mismatch going up against Carrington in the paint.
Offensive turnovers have definitely hurt the Dons. As you can see in the game against Spalding last Friday, Cam Smith in the first half alone had 3 offensive fouls that turned the ball over.
Now this is Dylan Asher. Sharp shooter out. We'll kick it back out to Carrington. Carrington, he's looking for Sutton, but Georges gets the steal out to Moore. Moore down the court. Moore misses the layup. Might have heard Billups coming. So good chase down D by Billups as Asher pulls up from 3. He'll miss that. And it's Georges on the rebound. Dons push the pace. Moore silky, but misses the rebound. Or excuse me, misses the shot. But Gardner's there to clean up the rebound. Great little Euro step there from Moore.
Great job there by Moore, being able to run the fast break. Even though he's not able to convert, it's still leading to a possibility for Don scoring points with Reese Gardner at the line.
Right, Reese Gardner, the team captain, the senior, number 3, real all-around player. Very coachable, great basketball IQ, solid defensively, leads the team in charges taken. Fortunately, that free throw goes in and out.
And so far this season, Dons have definitely seen a defensive benefit taking charges from Reese Gardner.
Swinson, the freshman point guard, brings up the floor for the Eagles. Now looking in towards Dennis Sutton, the 6'6" sophomore. Absolutely massive in there in the paint. He'll convert on the N1.
Great fundamental post move there by Sutton, being able to get the turnaround off of Gioso and drawing the foul.
Right, and he's, if not in height, he's certainly the biggest player on the floor. So just absolutely backs the Dons up. Gioso gets called for the foul there. Sutton with the N1. That's a great offensive possession there for the Dons as Gardner just feeds the ball into Gioso. Nice little post hook. Puts it up and in.
And defensively for the Dons, they're definitely going to have to look out for that size of Sutton, as he's definitely a strong post player.
Right, there you go. You see once again, Bennett Joseph's going to be playing the 5 defensively, but I'm not sure he's going to have the size to match up against Sutton in the paint. He just seems to be an absolute tank down there, and that's going to be McDonough's game plan. You got Sutton in the paint, then you got shooters like Asher out on the perimeter. That two-way threat could be problematic for the Dons.
I think Dons are definitely looking to try to keep Mitch Fisher in the paint to get that double team on Sutton.
See Gioso didn't even go for the rebound there. He was just focused on boxing out Sutton.
Gardner able to draw the foul from Carrington. Gardner, definitely one of the high IQ basketball players on this Dons team, being able to make smart plays.
Got Joso in the corner for the three. And the senior drains it. Bennett Joso, he's got size. He's also a threat on the perimeter.
Gioso's definitely one of those underlying sharpshooters for the Dons behind the three-point arc.
Right, looking at his size, you wouldn't expect him to be deadly from range. However, Gioso, I mentioned earlier, Joe, he's going to be playing inside on the defensive end. However, on offense, he's going to stay out on the perimeter and give the Dons that deep threat.
Looks like Dons are going to check in junior forward, number 1, Cam Smith. Smith being able to provide that athleticism at the small forward position.
Smith gets it in on the feed for Moore. Great look there from junior point guard. It's only gotten better as the season goes on. Just takes advantage of his ridiculous athleticism. Dons have a lot of athletic team. You got Moore and Smith, Fisher as well. Now Osher here from McDonogh. Sutton, post jumper. That's a little short. Now Moore looking to push the pace. Smith airballs that deep three. Now looking down, coming back to guard Sutton. That's a great move there. Nathani Paul Swinston, freshman point guard, hits him on the ball fake. Fisher from way downtown.
Fisher
technical
hit a
malfunction.
three, but
And we're going to stop play, technical malfunction. The scoreboard has just gone out.
you're going to have to adjust the score, so it will be 13-7 Loyola as Fisher hits the deep three.
There we go. 13-7 it is.
Loyola definitely able to have a lot of length on the court, being able to stretch the floor with guys who are true in the post, like guys like Bennett Gioso, but can also stretch at the three-point line.
Now Billups, pick it out. Another ball fake there from Swinston. That one's way off. It's an air ball. Moore grabs the rebound. Once again, looking to push it. Moore cuts back inside. Has the ball stripped there by Osher. Looking quick out. Now Sutton going to the rim. Gardner, great play to keep it in. But now, unfortunately, McDonogh grabs the rebound. Still in. And now Dons are back up. That was crazy. Swinston went to the floor. And Fisher fouled at the rim by Billups as he goes to the rack.
That's definitely what we're going to see from Loyola offensively, is that high-paced, high-tempo offense, being able to drive the ball and trying to get quick buckets into the paint. Fisher, definitely one of the best free throw shooters on the team so far this year.
Right, Fisher recently into Loyola's 1,000-point club, the first player to do so since Kenny Lewis, who famously hit the shot that put this club's broadcast on SportsCenter. As junior John Dixon checks into the game for Gioso.
Dixon, another guy who provides length defensively for the Dons. Only 6'3", but has really long arms, able to play high levels of defense. Looks like they're going to have sophomore Gavin Walsh and on Sutton.
Swinson brings up their look, isolates Sutton here. He takes out, good play by Dixon to tip that one as Moore. Guarded by Sutton. However, Moore cuts inside, lays it up. Dons have a 10-point lead, and it's a timeout for McDonogh.
And with that, we'd like to talk about our corporate sponsors program. Loyola invites businesses and organizations to join our corporate partners program for the 2019-2020 academic year. The program offers a comprehensive means to support the experience of our students while establishing a close relationship with the school and our constituents. For more information, please visit loyolablakefield.org/corporate partners. We'd also like to take a moment to recognize one of our corporate sponsors. The Jesuit community of Loyola University, Maryland shares in the mission of the Worldwide Society of Jesus. The mission includes the service of faith and promotion of justice and dialogue with cultures and with other religions. These values characterize its commitment to the educational apostolate at Loyola University, Loyola Blakefield, Cristo Rey, and St. Ignatius Academy in Baltimore.
All right, folks, with that concluded, we now return to the action of Loyola McDonogh Varsity Basketball. The Dons come out here with a 17-7 lead. Strong showing. We've noticed, Joe, they've really pushed the tempo early in this one. Meanwhile, McDonogh has really followed a set offensive half-court rhythm. Got Swinson looking up. They've really looked to isolate, put Sutton in the paint. He's the biggest player on the floor. Already scored a couple points there for the Eagles. And then if that's not on, then the Eagles are looking to go from Sutton, kick it back out to the perimeter for their shooters. But the whole offense really revolves around Sutton. That's number 44, the big man on your screen.
Definitely. And when McDonogh gets those low passes into the low post, they're definitely going to look to double team on that, especially with guys like John Dixon and Cameron Smith.
Right. And Sutton currently guarded by Gavin Walsh. Dons are playing a zone, actually. Oh, I see. Dons are playing what looks to be a box and one on Sutton with Walsh guarding on Sutton. That ball stripped. Looking for a call. The baseline official was not so certain. It sort of rolled through without touching anybody. And one ref makes the call, and it's going to be Loyola basketball. Now Moore brings up the court here for the Dons. Once again, another turnover for McDonogh.
Loyola definitely looking to get some offensive rotation in, looking to get guys open inside the paint.
Moore throws up an off-balance shot there as he drives into the rim. Billups brings it up the court for McDonogh. Osher looks to shoot now. It's not on. Sutton from the post once again. But our offensive rebound there by Robinson, Ian Robinson. First action we've seen from him. Another freshman on the floor for McDonogh.
Robinson definitely providing length down low for McDonogh, standing at 6'7", being able to grab boards.
Right, and Sutton hits another one of those foul line jumpers. So I believe he's got 6 of McDonough's 7, excuse me, of McDonough's 9 points. Dixon, contested 3 in the corner, no good. Sutton on the rebound. Now Billups, the junior, up the floor, cuts inside, kicks it out. Osher pulls up with the left hand, in and out. Dixon on the rebound, now Moore. Fisher. Moore, Don swinging around. Dixon puts the ball on the floor, drives in.
Looks like Loyola's trying to find a ways around McDonough's 2-3 defense. We're seeing Loyola's.
Ooh, that's pretty there from Swinson with a little floater off the baseline. McDonough's got a couple quick points here as we look to close the first quarter. Don's looking to hold this one up for the last shot.
Don's going with a 1-3-1 offense, trying to get something rotationally getting around against McDonough's 2-3.
That's right. Fisher swishes it, Mitch Fisher, and that's going to do it for the quarter. Don's up 20-11. Fisher slapping the thigh. You got to love it, folks. Senior night. End of the first quarter. The Dons lead at 20-11. I'm Matt Smolka and Joe Eldridge. We'll take a very short break and be back to you with all the action of tonight's senior night, Loyola Blakefield Varsity Basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jerry Savage Court, where we resume action for the second quarter. I'm Matt Smolka alongside Joe Eldridge as Cam Smith puts up a foul line jumper. Gavage Walsh grabs the rebound, but it's stripped by Sutton. The Dons currently have a 20-11 lead. It was a 10-point lead. McDonogh came out of a timeout, about 2 minutes to play, knocked in a few buckets. However, Mitch Fisher, the Dons senior, also member of the 1,000-point club, hit the deep three to end the quarter, and Don's up 20-11 as we resume action.
Dons have brought in sophomore guard number 10, Ryan Johnson, in for Jordan Moore. Johnson coming back recently for the Dons from an ankle injury.
As Fisher goes up against Sutton, can't budge him, but hits that little fadeaway floater to give the Dons their biggest lead of the night. As Swinson flips it over, Billups now here for the Eagles. Now Sutton, he's gonna look, now kicks it back out. Deep three, Carrington was guarded by Fisher as Dixon to the left hand, down to a 13-point lead.
And Dixon's definitely got underlying speed that most teams overlook, especially in situations like fast break. That's gonna be a defensive foul on John Dixon.
Right, Dixon, came off that a little late off that screen, was trying to recover. As Fisher checks out for Bennett Joso, who's now back in. Inbound here, Carrington, back out, Swinson, looking in, Sutton, into the paint. And yep, that's a foul on Walsh.
Sutton
Once again, you can see Sutton is absolutely using that size and strength, none of which Loyola can match up individually. They put Walsh on him.
Sutton definitely able to use his large frame and in the paint, grab rebounds, and finish easily while being able to draw the foul.
First action we've seen from Ryan Johnson. You mentioned that back from the ankle injury. That pass nearly wayward over the sophomore. Been studying mostly under Jordan Moore. Smith, that one's a little long. However, Don's gonna grab the rebound. And Walsh, little reverse layup under the arm of Sutton.
Great power move under the basket by Walsh, being able to get it through the power of Sutton.
Swinson brings it up. I mentioned, Joe, this team's really young. You got Swinson, the freshman, Billups, the junior, now Billups. Uncontested layup, however, uses that back iron nicely.
Definitely, McDonogh is a extremely young team running with
Right.
3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a junior on the floor currently.
Great pass from Joso to Walsh.
Looks like Loyola's starting to find the holes in that McDonogh 2-3, being able to finish under 2 possessions in a row with Gavin Walsh.
Right, and you mentioned, Joe, at the end of the first quarter, the Dons in transition to that 1-3-1 on the offensive end. You just see there Joso into the front, and that's Robinson going for the dunk. Ball slipped out of his hand before he was there.
Gardner has checked back into the game for John Dixon. Looks like McDonogh switched over to a 1-3-1 defense. It's going to be a walk on Gavin Walsh.
Right, and that's in response to Loyola. You saw that 1-3-1 offense. Feed the ball into Joso. Now kick it down low to Walsh for the layup. So McDonough's changing their tactics as well. Both teams have been playing zone here. You can see Loyola set up into 2-3.
2-3 defense is definitely strong for Loyola. Seen in the game against Spalding.
There we go. That's Gardner, gets his hand to a pass. Knocks it away, Dons with the steal. Cam Smith brings it up. Smith going to the hoop. And he is knocked to the floor by Ian Robinson. So a hard-earned 2 shots here from Cam Smith going to the line.
Looks like defensively Loyola's transition into that 2-3, trying to isolate Sutton in the post, trying to make sure he doesn't get that one-on-one. So that's definitely where he's been dominating in this first half.
Smith misses the first one. However, the last game the Dons played, that was a 73-50 win against Calvert Hall. Smith had 12.7 rebounds and 4 steals in the defensive end. Now the junior number 1 looking to add to the Dons' lead here as he takes his second from the charity stripe.
Don's taking a 15-point lead halfway through this first half. Definitely started off well on the defensive end, especially stopping Donnie Dennis Sutton.
Yep. Robinson fed the ball into Sutton. However, Walsh was quick. Walsh sort of grabbed him over the shoulder, prevented him from getting to that pass. So we've seen, Joe, Sutton's been a huge issue for the Dons because McDonough's whole offense runs through him. The Dons have struggled to contain him. That's also Walsh's second foul. So
looked like there could have been a foul there.
no, I'm not sure. Smith just tripped there. Osher kicked it out to Carrington, missed the three.
Walsh's three, that rolls in and out.
Oh, and Moore goes down over the back of Carrington.
That's going to be an offensive foul on Moore. It's going to be an over the back. At least that's what I would call.
Refs in a little consultation here. I don't think there's anything malicious in that. And it is going to be offensive on Jordan Moore. Coach Josh Duvall wants an explanation.
It's definitely a good call by the refs. Moore went over the back of Carrington trying to get the rebound. Just got tripped up.
Yeah, it could have been a scary fall there as he sort of went over Carrington. Luckily, appears to be unhurt on the play. We'll resume here with Swinson bringing the ball up the court for McDonogh. We'll bounce pass in. Billups now wants to feed. Oh, now fakes off the feed. Now look at the little pick and roll. Swinson, the pull-up jumper, that is well short. I think might have been tipped, judging by just how short that one fell. Joso, the wide open three. That was off the back iron. And Billups grabs the rebound. Gardner looking for a chance to steal it. However, that pass wayward. Looks like it was split down the middle. Both Swinson and Carrington on that side. McDonough's had quite a few turnovers here tonight, Joe.
Definitely. It looked like on that one, Jared Billups is looking for Swinson, just unable to find him. Ended up going between Swinson and Carrington.
Moore, the junior point guard, brings it up the court for the Dons. Gardner.
Looks like McDonough's trying to run with that length at the top of the 1-3 run.
Moore might have got away with the travel there. As Smith feeds it in, Joso now kicks it out. Smith under one and to the basket for an uncontested layup.
Good power move by Smith there. Getting behind the second line. McDonogh defender is able to finish.
2 minutes to go in the half. Billups, pass off, Robinson. Swinson tries a little ball fake on Moore now. Eagles working it around. You'll notice no Sutton in the game. You can really see how that's affecting their offensive play. They're going with a three-guard setup. Open jumper from Robinson at the as the shot clock expires. It's good defense. And as I mentioned, Joe, you can see without Sutton in the game, you can see what an impact that has. You know, the Eagles don't have anyone else who can really be that big man in the center. They have Robinson down low right now. As Fisher hits another three, he's on fire. Mitch Fisher.
Fisher hitting his third three-pointer in the first half. Been a lights-out shooter so far in this game.
And he is fired up. You see him, he's slapping the thigh. He's ready to go. He's feeling it tonight here on senior night.
So Billups trying to get through the double team, and that's going to be a hold foul on number one, Cam Smith.
Right.
That puts McDonogh into the single bonus, giving them a one-on-one.
With 2 minutes to go, Georgelis checks in for Joso. Georgelis rocking the yellow Kyries as Billups drains that one from the line.
This is definitely what Loyola needs to stay out of, is foul trouble, as that's put him into trouble the past couple games for Loyola.
Billups 2 for 2, and McDonogh will call a timeout.
We'd like to take a moment to recognize another one of our corporate sponsors. Atlantic Caterers is a family-owned and operated business that has ties with the Archdiocese of Baltimore since 1963, and they are proud to be part of the time-honored traditions that are the root of Loyola Blakefield's success. Contact Atlantic Caterers for your next event at 410-254-6662 or visit their website, atlanticcaterers.com.
All right, Joe, we've just seen what can happen when McDonogh does not have deny Dennis Sutton in the game. Sutton has probably 10 points in this one so far, but you've also seen how McDonogh's offense really works it into him. And without him in the game, the Dons have been having a much easier time on the defensive end. You know, on the offense, Mitch Fisher lights out from beyond the arc. He's 3 for 4 from deep, I believe. Additionally, Cam Smith with a solid game. We got Jordan Moore's done a nice job. You saw Jordan Moore that nice Euro step layup earlier in the first quarter.
Definitely. McDonough's offense has definitely struggled without Sutton in the paint with those young, inexperienced guards as they're going now to a full court press.
Right. And now that Sutton's out of the game, this should be the Dons' chance to push the ball inside.
Good hop step by Moore. Unable to get the layup to go.
Georgia's fighting for it. He'll get it. Unfortunately, just slips through Gardner's hands. Backcourt violation.
Definitely not what the Dons wanted to see there. Starting off with a good offensive possession with a 14-point lead, ending in a turnover. Turnovers, especially in these past couple games, have killed the Dons offensively. Definitely stopping momentum.
Now Robinson, Carrington. Osher, the left-handed sharpshooter. Eagles working the ball around the perimeter. No penetration inside, though. And that's going to be contested 3. Billups hits one with Cam Smith right on top of him. Cuts the lead down to 11. Eagles still in that full court press with a minute to go in the half. Looking to disrupt the Dons' half-court rhythm.
McDonogh looking to go with a 2-3 trap into the corner.
Fisher, thought about it. Now he's going to pull up. Fisher, he's on fire, folks.
Fisher with his
Fisher.
4th three-pointer of the first half.
And
Great
what a
shot
senior night from Mitch Fisher. He is feeling it, Joe. He's feeling it.
Definitely. Loyola definitely feeling it from behind the arc offensively. Being able to take a 14-point lead with just over 30 seconds left in the first half.
Swinson looking to create something here for the Eagles. Osher kicks it around. Billups tried the jab step on Smith. Now looking for the little pick and roll. He'll drive to his left. The pull up. And Smith. Oh, I don't know about that. Not much contact there at all.
Questionable contact. Questionable call there as it looked like there was minimal contact, if any, from Cameron Smith.
Right, looked like that was good defense. Got in his face. Might have tapped the wrist, but I don't know. I don't think there was anything in that. However, Billups goes to the line to shoot 2. That is Cam Smith's second foul, Joe. To keep an eye on that.
Gladly, no, so far in this first half, Loyola hasn't had anybody who's gone into too deep of foul trouble. Being able to have 2 guys at 2 fouls, and that's as deep as it goes. Billups hitting his second free throw, cutting Loyola's lead to 12.
Dons once again forced to break the half-court press. Moore. Oh, give it to Mitch. Moore. Fisher. Can he hit it before the half? He thinks about it. He pulls up again. Oh my goodness. Mitch Fisher. Close it down. Close it down.
Fisher.
Mitch Fisher. How about it, Mitch?
5 3-pointers in the first half.
Oh, boy. Mitch Fisher.
Great way to end the first half.
It's game over, folks. It's game over. Mitch Fisher. He's on fire. Don's 1,000-point club member. He plans to go out with a bang. 40-25. Don's lead at the half. Mitch Fisher. Oh, boy.
And with that, we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll see you at that start of the second half.
Come back. You don't want to miss this.
For Matt Smolka, I'm Joe Eldridge.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Back to you. Don's 40-25. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jerry Savage Court for the second half of tonight's game. Loyola McDonogh. The Dons lead it 40-25. I'm Matt Smolka sitting alongside Joe Eldridge. Joe, let's get a quick recap of the first half.
Mitch Fisher for the Dons on senior night, leading the Dons with 19 points and shooting 5 for 6 from behind the three-point arc. We also got the next point leader is Cameron Smith with 7 points. And for the McDonogh Eagles, Dennis Sutton leading them. Their big sophomore with 11 points, all of which scored either in the paint or from the free throw line.
Right, Dons. And that's me a pass in from Gardner to Fisher, couldn't quite corral it. Eagles looking to get something going. The Dons have held a double-digit lead for the better part of the second quarter. Now, Swinson brings it up the court here for the Eagles. He'll feed it in. Now, from deep, Carrington. That one's off. Fisher gets the board. A little behind the back there. Feed out Joso. Pulls up from deep. That one's going to airball long.
Looks like Joso took that shot a little too quickly, not giving himself enough time to gather himself as that shot goes long.
Eagles with a bit more urgency about them as we start the second half. Swinson, looking maybe, Eagles have mostly been running a half-court set with Sutton down low. However, they may be looking to push the pace a little bit here.
Good post defense by Bennett Gioso. As the Dons have switched back into a man defense, looking to stop, deny Sutton.
Billups recovering off that steal, shot clock. However, Eagles get the rebound. That's Robinson, the freshman, with the putback. Excuse me, that was Billups with the putback. Jared Billups, the junior, standing 6'5". More, bounce pass, Georgilis.
Looks like that's going to be a foul on number 11, sophomore Dylan Asher.
He'll get called on the hold.
McDonogh, one of those young teams in the MIAA, currently running with 2 sophomores, 2 freshmen, and a junior.
Fisher, that one's rejected by Billups. Now right back up the floor. However, Swinson botches the layup. The Dons back down the floor. Moore looking to cut inside. Georgilis feeds it out. Joso. That one's nothing but net. Bennett Gioso.
Gioso now with 8 points in the ball game.
Fisher maybe on that previous possession a little too aggressive. Billups read that one, got up and swatted that down. Sutton, it's a fadeaway jumper, no good. Not just the best shot from the take. Fisher up the court. Gioso, he thought about it, got a little head fake in there. He'll pull that up again, and he's got it.
Pulls that up and Sutton's face, bringing that up to 11 points and 2 quick threes past 2 possessions for the Dons, giving them a 17-point lead.
The Dons on fire from downtown here tonight. The Eagles just unable to match that.
Loyola student section is alive right now. Feeding off.
There's Swinson, makes a 3 of his own. However, you got Fisher 5 for 6. Gioso, believe somewhere around 50% shooting from deep. So Don's been looking good. More little hesitation. That's a nice move there.
Good
junior.
Good contact shot by Moore there. Being able to keep his shot going even through the contact. And that's going to be a foul on number 1, Jared. It's going to be on Jared Billups.
But are you sure from the way that Coach Valley was reacting, it looked like the foul might have been on Loyola.
Looked like the ref signaled 1. And the only player with the number 1 on the floor before the checking in of Cameron Smith was Jared Billups. And it's going to be Loyola ball. Gardner's checking the ball in as that foul was on Jared Billups.
Okay, so the foul is on Billups. Might have been some confusion there about the call. However, Don's ball.
Good inside.
Great feed to Smith.
Great motion offensively by the Dons, finding Smith coming wide open off the pick in the paint.
Now Swinson guarded by Gardner. He's looking around for Billups. Feeds it in. Sutton against a double team. Sutton. That's a foul. Joso got a hand in. However, he'll be called for the foul.
Looks like they're going to call that on Gioso for coming down on the ball and through Sutton's motion.
That's a second foul. Sutton from the free throw line.
Sutton missing that first free throw. It's going to be John Dixon checking in for senior Reese Gardner.
And you saw there, Joe, when Sutton put the ball on the floor, looking for that power move to the hoop, Dons went immediately with the double team. You saw Gioso on him. I believe that was Smith who slid over.
It's definitely a good defensive call there by Coach Savali, getting that double team in on Sutton as he's outsizes everybody on Loyola's roster.
And they clearly know that game plan where they're trying to feed, McDonough's trying to get the ball into Sutton and work the offense from there.
It looks like when Sutton's in on the floor for McDonogh, they're going into a man defense, looking to get that double team in the paint and going into a 2-3 trap when Sutton exits the floor.
You know, that's John Dixon, a little sixth man around. Two McDonogh defenders fouled as he goes to the rim. Dixon, the junior, now to shoot two. And we should mention, Joe, that that is the fifth foul on the freshman guard Carlton Carrington. Oh, excuse me, the third foul on number 5, Carlton Carrington. Still 4:09 to play in the third quarter, so he's got to watch out now that he's in foul trouble.
Dixon sinking both of his free throws.
And that gives the Dons a 20-point lead. Oh, excuse me, a 19-point lead. I thought that was a 52 was before he made that shot.
It's Don's largest lead of the game, especially some great man defense by Bennett Gioso.
Right, good job not to foul there. Unfortunately.
It's like Smith going for the cross-court bounce pass to Fisher.
Right, I don't like that pass, Joe, a little dangerous.
I didn't see the window Smith was looking for, just unable to get it through. It was a kickball violation on number 1, Jared Billups.
Right, that's a little lucky there for the Dons. And Fisher once again gets the blocked twice there. The stare down by Ian Robinson.
It looks like there could have been a foul call there on Sutton, coming down from behind on top of Fisher.
Fisher looks a little frustrated. 19 points in the first half. However, that's 3 rejections down low to open the second. And Fisher now from deep. That one's off. But Smith grabs the rebound. The putback, no good. Billups looking to push the pace for the Eagles. Tries in with his left. The floater with the right. That fouls me on the floor, though.
That's going to be on number 11, John Dixon. Dixon earning his second foul so far in this game. Dixon's definitely someone you don't want to have get in foul trouble. He's one of your best defensive guards.
Carrington. And Carrington called him to carry. That's something you don't see much nowadays.
Definitely at upper levels like this in top high school basketball, you usually don't see carrying violations. But Carrington's still one of those young players.
I mean, not just that, Joe, but also you see refs very lax on the carry, typically. This one will get the Dons the ball. Walsh had the 3. Smith now kicks it out. Walsh, once again, will look to go for the jumper. That's tipped by Robinson, his 3rd block of the game. Asher's going to pick up that loose ball. And Swinson settles it down for the Eagles. You have Sutton working against Fisher in the post.
Looks like they're trying to keep Gavin Walsh down on that slide, leaving one guy open in the corner, trying to get that open play.
And Billups airballs the 3. Sutton look for the rebound. And that ball's going to be off Smith, out of the hands of Smith, I should say. And McDonogh will start.
It looks like Walsh was looking to kick it out into Smith in the corner just as Smith started to break to the basket.
Right.
Causing that pass to go behind Smith.
And from what I can tell, Joe, the Eagles have no one who can rival the deep threat the Dons have.
And that is going to be a charge on Denai Dennis Sutton. Great heads-up defensive play there by Cam Smith in the paint, getting the big man on an offensive foul.
Moore will start this offensive sequence off. Dixon feeds it in.
Great post defense there by Jared
Billups
Billups.
got held up. Now Billups misses the layup. Swinson will in and out move. Can't get it. That's going to be Don's ball.
Definitely some sloppy offensive play by both teams so far in this second half.
Right, neither team's afraid to take risks on the offensive side of the floor. As Smith goes crashing to the ground off that foul from Robinson.
Smith looks a little banged up on that play. Took a hard fall off the foul from Ian Robinson. Looks like they're going to get the towel to wipe off the sweat marks from Smith.
One thing that has surprised me, Joe, has been the Dons' willingness to play on the fast break, to push the pace, even when they're up with a double-digit lead. As Ryan Johnson checks in for Moore.
And it's definitely Loyola's look to do something like that all year, trying to push the pace on offense, especially with guys like Jordan Moore who are able to control the pace of the floor with his play alone. Loyola now with their biggest lead of the game at 21 as they are up 54-33 with 1:45 remaining in the third period.
Robinson, now Billups. Ooh, possible double team there from the Dons. They'll feed, once again, the feed. Dons are looking for that feed into Sutton. Smith, the spin move to the basket. He's not going to get it. Fisher rejected once again. That's going to be Don's ball. However, Mitch Fisher, who had such a stellar start in the first half, he struggled at the rim. He's now been blocked, he's now been blocked 4 times. He's now been blocked 4 times. At the low post. Wow, that was...
It looks like some of those blocks that have occurred on Fisher could have been called by fouls from Sutton as Fisher looks to draw contact on Sutton.
Head coach Josh Duvall wants the foul. Looked like to be some contact there. No call. Sutton was straight up. However, the Dons still with a 21-point lead. A lead that's been slowly increasing throughout the game. As they're going to get Ian Robinson on the illegal screen. So the Dons are going to get ready on this inbound. It's been a solid performance all around. Really incredible offensive display in the first half. However, defensive side has shown out too, mostly by by doing well to limit the impact, I should say, of Deni Dennis Sutton for the Eagles.
Looks like Don's driving in on offense, trying to draw a foul off of Sutton, but with just such a large frame, being able unmoved in the air. It's like Dons aren't able to draw the foul. It's going to be Gardner checking in for Smith. McDonogh getting themselves into early foul trouble, already with 6 fouls in this half.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Joe. Carrington, the freshman guard, will reset things up top. Don's looking for the double team trap. Ball's going to be stripped loose. Gardner and Carrington both drive for it. Swinson takes advantage of that space awarded him and knocks down the open 3.
Looks like Loyola's trying to get some motion on the offense as McDonough's running with a man defense, but it looks like McDonogh has checked out Sutton, which means there might be a switch to his own defense.
Fisher tries behind the back, doesn't work. 4 seconds left, that air balls. Now Oster's gonna look for that half court to close it out. Just off the side rim. That's gonna do it for our third quarter. Before we go, Joe, if you'd like to present another one of our corporate sponsors.
We'd like to take a moment to recognize another one of our corporate sponsors. Home Paramount Pest Control is the premier pest control and pest management company in Maryland. Home Paramount offers effective and reliable termite control, pest control, and moisture control services for residential and commercial customers throughout Maryland. Contact our Baltimore pest experts today to schedule a free home inspection and choose the pest management programs that will work for you. Dial toll-free at 1-888-888-HOME.
All right, so with that, we have just 1 quarter more of basketball left to play. The Dons' last home regular season game of the season, and for some of our seniors, the last of their career. So, Joe, with that in mind, can you just summarize a little bit? I know you've been commentating more basketball games than I have this season. Can you summarize for us the impact that this group of seniors has had on this year's team?
Oh, these seniors have had a great impact, especially from guys like Gioso, Fisher, and Gardner. Gardner especially on the defensive end. Like you said earlier, leading the team in charges. Gioso been one of those standout defensive post players while also being able to hit the three. And Fisher just being that all-around superstar from the Dons, being able to run the fast break cleanly, being able to dominate in the post and pull up from three as we've seen so far this game. Shooting 5 for 7 from behind the arc. Looks like McDonogh's going a full man as Mitch Fisher brings the ball up for the Dons. Walsh driving in, gets the foul.
That one's going to be on Billups, I believe. Yeah, you can see Robinson was straight up, but Billups caught Walsh on the arm as he went to the rim.
That's going to be Billups' 3rd foul of the game. Loyola with that foul now in the bonus, so from now on, they will be shooting 1-and-1 after every foul. Walsh hitting his first free throw. Walsh going on the 2nd free throw, bringing the Dons lead up to 20.
(56-36) the score, and what's looking like is going to be a Loyola win. The Dons have just done a solid job all night on both ends of the floor. That's Robinson, a low trajectory jumper.
It's like Dons are trying to get some kind of motion in with Mitch Fisher.
Right, and it makes sense here if you're Loyola to really work that set offense. You don't, again, time's on your side. You don't need that fast break mindset. It's Fisher, he's been aggressive going to the rim all night in the 2nd half. However, it's the first time that he's not been rejected in the air to go to the line on the foul.
With that free throw, Fisher hits 20 points on the game. Definitely a spectacular start for Fisher senior night, scoring 19 in the 1st half.
Right, if you think about it, that's his first. He didn't get a point the whole 3rd quarter, but 19 in the 1st half. Mitch Fisher is now at 21 on the night.
Shooting lights out from 83% from behind the 3-point line in the 1st half.
Right, that's 5 for 6.
Looks like Loyola's into a 1-2-2 on defense.
Joe, we've seen Loyola mix up that defensive look. And on the offense, I should say. We saw they've been favoring the 2-3. As Gavin Walsh gets a nice bucket there. Loyola's been favoring the 2-3, the defensive end. You said they switched to a 1-2-2 there. On the offense, they actually, when McDonogh switched to his zone, they began running that 1-3-1, which saw them get a couple quick buckets with Walsh running the baseline.
And what Loyola's done on defense has ultimately revolved around what McDonogh does with Sutton. And that's going to be a walk on Dylan Asher.
And you start seeing a little bit of frustration coming out here from McDonogh. The Dons have taken a commanding lead in this one and have not looked back once. This is looking to be a big win on senior night here at home in front of a pretty packed Jerry Savage court. As
Good
Jordan Moore.
Great spin jumper there by Moore. Being able to create separation on Swinson. Getting able to bring Loyola's lead up to a game-high 24 points.
Now Billups, Swinson feeds it out. Carrington thought about the three, carries it in. Ooh, off the back of the rim. Would have been a nice bucket had it fallen. More Gardner, and Gardner puts that one up and in with some while being contested.
Gardner picking up his first points of the game on his senior night. Loyola up by 26.
Timeout, Loyola. The Dons, yeah, you mentioned 26-point lead. This is even bigger than their 23-point win against Calvert Hall last week, if that margin stands.
And we'd like to take this time to thank another one of our corporate partners, 1-800-GOT-JUNK. 1-800-GOT-JUNK is the world's largest junk removal service. They make the ordinary business of junk removal exceptional by sending a team of 2 friendly, capable pros who will do all of the removal from anywhere inside or out. They'll finish up with a thorough broom cleanup. Up to 60% of the items they collect are donated or recycled, and if you call before 2 p.m., they guarantee same-day service within 90 minutes of your call. From one item to many truckloads, nothing is too much to ask. Stop staring at that junk pile. Call them today. They're available 7 days a week until midnight.
With that, we now get back to our fourth quarter action. The Dons with a commanding 26-point lead over the Eagles here on senior night. Sophomore Ryan Johnson bringing the ball up here. Gardner, the senior, and team captain directing the floor. Moore gives it off to Dixon. Dixon, his little trademark jumper.
So you're going to say Reach Gardner was on the baseline when he threw off the leg of Sutton.
So in terms of Loyola, Joe, this has been a great win. McDonogh, disappointing performance. They've really been unable to get anything going without Sutton in the game. And even when he has been in the game, the Dons have done a nice job of closing him down at the rim. That's a putback bucket there from Robinson. But it's important to keep in mind, as we sort of start thinking about even next season, McDonough's going to have a solid team when they get back next season. None of the 5 players you see on the floor for McDonogh is a senior, and only number 1, that's Jared Billups, is a junior. So McDonogh, four underclassmen.
Looks like Loyola's trying to get some motion in offense, trying to draw out that shot clock.
Right, exactly. Don's just, working the ball around, looking to drive down the clock. More uncontested to the rim.
It's definitely what Loyola's definitely been able to do so far in this game. Against the man defense, getting that pick motion, getting it around that screen, coming into the paint wide open.
And while I mentioned, Joe, that McDonogh is going to have no seniors, the Dons, who have several seniors featured very prominently, they're going to have a little work to do to replace some of those players, especially Fisher. Fisher, Gardner, Georgelis, and Joso all have had a big impact on the team. So the Dons have to have their other players. You got Cam Smith, Jordan Moore, Ryan Johnson, Gavin Walsh, and some others who haven't seen as much significant playing time this year are going to have to step up to fill that vacuum.
Definitely. You'll definitely see. We'll also have the return of currently junior guard Uche Negbu, who transferring from St. Mary's Indianapolis was deemed ineligible for this season, but will return for next season, being a senior for the Dons.
Tonight, Dennis Sutton at the free throw line for McDonogh. The big man has been held largely in check by the Loyola defense tonight.
Loyola's done a good job so far in this entirety of the game, being able to double team Sutton, limiting him to as few points as possible in the paint.
That's the McDonogh ball. Last touch by Georgelis, deems this baseline referee. Carrington, 3 with Gardner's hand in his face. It's going to be short. Moore goes behind the back.
Good behind the back pass there from Mitch Fisher.
And Georgia is fouled from 3 by Jack Horgan, the junior. The first action that we've seen from him.
It's going to send Georgia to the line for 3 free throws. McDonogh now with 9 fouls so far in this game. Excuse me, in this half. Georgia's one of those players you haven't seen shoot the ball much so far this year. Has definitely been one of those key big men and on the defensive end for Loyola.
Georgia's going on to play basketball at Elizabethtown College. As he goes 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Phillips, Carrington. There's 2 minutes to go here in this game. The Dons have wrapped up a nice win, Joe.
Definitely. It's been a great game by Loyola. Great fundamental game, being able to get the ball around. Especially a big game from Mitch Fisher.
Here comes Fisher. He's going to the rack. Oh, no. Dishes off Georgilis. Thought about it. Gioso.
The three-pointer from Gioso.
Oh, and the student section loves it. Bennett Gioso on his senior night. He's had a nice night as well.
And as time starts to expire, we'd like to thank another one of our corporate sponsors, Doceo. Doceo is proud to be the new local technology partner of Loyola Blakefield. Doceo has provided the Dons with Toshiba printers and copiers featuring cloud-based document storage and mobile printing. Check them out at
and here come the subs.
mydoceo.com.
And this is going to be the last call for the seniors. The seniors of Loyola Blakefield, Reese Gardner, Bennett Gioso, Nico Georgilis, Mitch Fisher on their senior night.
Just a great year by those group of 4 guys, especially tonight, led by Fisher and Gioso with 21 and 14 points respectively.
All right, great performance there from Mitch Fisher.
It's like Loyola's brought in their subs, including the younger brother of Mitch Fisher, number 12, Owen Fisher, and number 23, Matt Rice. Definitely some reminiscence of the highly accomplished JV team from last year, with everybody from Jordan Moore, except for Jordan Moore, starting on that team. As Matt Rice pulls up deep from 3 there, unable to get it. It will be McDonogh ball after the foul from Owen Fisher.
Moore, great hustle there. It's going to be Don's ball.
Great hustle defense and aggressive defense by Jordan Moore, being able to put pressure on Billups, forcing the turnover.
Right, and Joe, it just shows a minute left to go in this game. Outcome already decided. Both players on the ground diving for that loose ball.
And as time starts to run out with under a minute, we'd like to thank a couple people. We'd like to thank our producer for this game, Jay Patotsky, and we'd like to thank our cameraman and club moderator, Mr. Nitty. Mr. Nitty has done so much for this club over the past few years. We can't say thank you enough for Nitty.
As the Don student section start the goodbye chant. 25-point lead. The Dons close out their regular season. Excuse me, I should say the Dons with their last regular season home game. They closed it out in stylistic fashion.
And Loyola in the next week has 2 games, both away. They're going to play at St. Francis and at John Carroll. As Ryan Johnson brings the ball up, 40 seconds remaining. Owen Fisher pulling up, shot is short. It's going to be a turnover for McDonogh, giving Loyola ball with 22.9 seconds left. Loyola's just going to look to run the clock out here. Already with the victory secured, it's a 20-point victory, 72-48.
Great way to close out the game for the seniors. Joe, it's been a solid game, a great year by the seniors, and this is going to wrap this game up. The Dons win it 72-48, and great win here for the Dons.
Great high note for the Dons to end on the seniors' last home game.
All right, and with that, folks, we're just about going to wrap it up. It's been a pleasure to have you alongside us. As you know, please keep checking back into the stream for future games. But until then, thank you for watching tonight's game. The Dons close it out in a nice fashion, 72-48 over McDonogh. I'm Matt Smolka and Joe Eldridge. Have a good night.